Hello there. Hopefully you're here because you want to make something super cool for Christmas. And I'm going to show you a craft that I have become really passionate about since we went into lockdown, and that is crochet. So I recently made this placemat, crochet placemat, and we're going to make some coasters. This is using a fabric called t-shirt yarn. And t-shirt yarn, as you can imagine, is made out of usually recycled t-shirts. It's quite simple to make. You can cut up the t-shirt in a certain way, and you pull it between your hands, and there's really good YouTube videos. It does take a bit of time, or you can buy one of these for about £8–9 for a big one like this. And I've already got one placemat out of it, and we'll try and get a coaster out of it today as well. And chunky yarn requires you could get yourself a 6mm crochet hook. If you're going to go straight in for the t-shirt yarn, like today, then 12mm. So we're going to start with what's known as a magic circle. This takes a little bit of getting used to, so be patient with yourself. I've got the tail end of the yarn here, and I'm holding it between my thumb and forefinger, and the ball is on the other end of this yarn in this direction. Okay, so I loop it around these two fingers, then round the back, very loose, and then around the 3 fingers. So I'm holding it like this, and trust me, this is the most complicated part. Once you get this, you'll be fine. Then place a crochet hook under this one and over that one. Okay, over the wider one at the back. I'm going to pull it through. I'm just twisting it around there, and I'm going to grab from here and pull it through both. Okay, and then I can release everything pretty much. I can release everything, and I'm left with this funky looking little like noose. And you'll find if I tighten the dead end, the noose gets smaller or bigger, and this is what I then need to crochet into. Okay, it's important to know how to hold the yarn. So hold the yarn by round the pinky, then up over the ring finger, and hold it like so. And that means you can keep a little bit of tension on it, otherwise your wool's too loose. So round your pinky, up over your ring, and here, and then you can get started. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to chain one. Going to chain one over, pull through. And I've chained one onto there. Okay. And then I need to do 6 single crochets inside of the ring. So single crochet, push it through the middle. I'm going to also include this as I go round. That means when I pull it, it's all going to come nice and tight. So I'm going to go in the middle, yarn over, and pull it back through. I've got 2 loops on, and then I yarn over, and I pull through both loops. Again, another single crochet. So that's 1, push through the middle, yarn over, bring it back, yarn over and through both loops. That's me got 2. In the middle of my circle, yarn over, bring it back, through both loops. So now I've done 6 single crochets into the middle. I've got my little tail end here, and if I pull the tail end super tight, it'll close that circle in the middle. Okay, I need to pull it real tight. There we go. You see the hole close in there. Okay. So now is the time I'm going to introduce you to stitch marker. This wee guy, they cost pennies, but they can help you keep your place. So I'm going to pop my stitch marker in here. And I'm then going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. So this entire thing Once you master the single crochet, you're laughing, okay? So I need to do, I've got 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my 6th one here. And I need to put 2 single crochets in there. So I push my hook through number 6, okay? There we go. Yarn over, pull it back. Yarn over through both loops. So that's 1 into that stitch. I go back into the same hole again. So I'm going to go back into here, push through. There's a lot of elasticity in t-shirt yarn, so it's quite easy to push through. Okay, there we go. So I've got 2 in there now. So don't worry if it looks a wee bit stretchy. It really is really flexible. And I've now got 2 stitches, 1, 2 after my stitch marker. So it means I can keep count, because if you're working in circles or in rounds, you can sometimes lose your place. So I'm going to keep going round. I'm going to put 2 single crochets in each one of these stitches, and I'm going to finish on that one, putting 2 single crochets through that one. So at that point I'll remove this and I'll put 2 in here as well. Starting to look like a little seashell or a fossil. So I should have 12 stitches because I put 2 in every one of these stitches on the outside. So I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that's my 12th one there. And you can see I popped my stitch marker back in so I knew where I was. So the next round, 2 single crochets and then 1. And we're going to follow that all the way around. So my first stitch, I'm gonna pop 2 single crochets in there. So straight through, 1, and then straight through, 2, super. You can see my 2 single crochets there. Now in this one, I'm going to do 1 single crochet. So I'm going to push it through the stitch. So when I say push it through the stitch, you see I go right the way through that V. Go all the way through the V on top. And this is 1 single crochet. I'm going to go all the way around like that. So 2 single crochets in that one, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, until I get to my final stitch, and that will be a single crochet at the end if I've done it correctly. We're getting there. So you should have 18 stitches now, because we went double single all the way around. So when you count, you should have 18. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I've got 18. So I'm going to do one more round because I think I want this coaster to be a little bit bigger. And this one, the rhythm is single crochet, and then a double. So single, single, double, all the way around. Single, single, double, single, single, double, single, single, double. So now I start that off. Let's see. Single. Single, push through the next stitch, and then we'll go double, so through the stitch, and then through the same hole again, through the same stitch again. So I'm going to push through there, yarn over, back we go. I've got my first single, single, double. And I'm going to keep doing that all the way around. Okay, so I'm done. I've done my, finished my round, and I've removed my stitch, and I've cut my yarn at the end. And what I'm going to do is that last stitch, I'm going to pull it all the way through, and then we're going to stitch in we're just going to finish this off by stitching it in here, okay? So there's a little bit of a step here, as you can see. I have a really chunky needle, but in the past, before I had, it's quite a cheap set of chunky needles I got. You can do this with your fingers if you don't have a needle that will work for you like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the needle to make it look like a stitch, so it's all nice and tied off here. I'm going to push it through the back of this stitch here, okay? So this is the wrong side, we call it, and this is the right side. So I'm coming from the back, I'm going to pull through, and then you can see I've got my loose bit here, and I'm going to go in the middle of my last stitch, right? So it's going to look like a little pretend stitch, so it all looks nice and seamless. So all I'm doing is going in the middle of here, pull it through, and you see how it now looks like a stitch. Tighten it up a wee bit there. And I'm going to do what's known as tying in the ends. Now, tying in the ends is just a little bit fiddly. I'm going to just push the needle through here, and to be honest, I usually just make this bit up. So all you do is you feed the thread through the middle of some of the work you've already done. So you feed it through, you just like making sure these end parts are just hidden away. And then when you get to a good point, I usually go back and forward a little bit, I zigzag a little bit, push it through all the knots that I've made. And when I've got to a point where I'm happy, that I feel like it's tucked away, I'll cut it off. So I'll show you this first bit, and then I'll do the same with the second bit. So I'm just going to tuck it, push it through here. And actually that's good enough for me. So I'll just cut it as tight as I can to the crochet. And that'll do me just fine, okay? And what do you know? Honestly, once you get the knack of this, you could do a lovely little set of 4. If you're feeling bold, you could do another one and do the placemat as well. But I'll let you in the secret. In order to get it flat and looking nice and round, I get my iron and I use the steam and blast it with like steam and press it with the iron and then shape it with my hands a little bit. And it'll get damp. It's kind of called, the professional way of doing it's called blocking, but this is just a really quick way that I do it that saves time. So iron and just like with the steam and press it, and then lift out your hands and stretch it a little bit, and you'll find it flattens out. And I think that would be just such a glorious little gift for someone, is to give them a full set for their house. And they go in the washing machine as well. So if they get dirty, no harm done, you just chuck it in a wash. Okay, happy crocheting.